This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Off the back of about 400 Zooms and calls on different time zones, we've made it. We're here in the UK. I know you say you can't rest until all is done, then you have to get to work again, but it's here now, it's real.
It's here, it's real. We're excited, beyond excited.
Let's talk a little bit KSI. Obviously, we did all the talk about Danis pulling out, which we'll go into. We've already done loads, but just in terms of temper, obviously KSI was training for a southpaw. You pick another one with good experience that's also a southpaw.
Yeah. His team, his coaches made that decision and said it makes logical sense. The man has had over 100 rounds of sparring with a southpaw. I do think Temper's more of a challenge than Danis. I think people just wanted to see Danis get beat up. And, you know, this is going to be very interesting. It's going to be, because Temper has that hunger for redemption as well for his loss against Slim. And who better to bring it on against other than the king of the jungle, you know?
KSI used to pull outs. This time round, I suppose, not too different. Once again, having to deal with the same sort of stuff. Mentally, I imagine he's used to it. It doesn't bother him too much, but it's not ideal. It's not ideal.
It's going to drain the strongest person to some degree, but listen, he's mentally one of the strongest people I know. I think that's one of his biggest attributes. And, you know, you can never be... We were as prepared as we could be for what happened. So here we are. Show must go on. We don't pull out.
Mams, let's talk about the card itself. A fantastic card from top to bottom. We see the return of El Brook, who's just there. Tom Zanetti finally gets his opportunity to fight. We know that he's someone who's got all sorts of combat sports experience. Yeah. Slim returns. Anthony Taylor, who we hope will be behaving this week. Idris Virgo. I mean, the list goes on and on. Especially, we've also got the people here like Astrid, Dean the Great. You know, everyone making themselves aware for what is the biggest fight to open the calendar year.
Yeah. What's your question?
Run through the card.
I'm 44 years old. My memory, no, I'm kidding. Listen.
Let's go to return of Slim. Return of Slim. Tom Zanetti gets his shot.
Slim's toughest challenge, despite what anyone says. Slim's toughest challenge, mark my words.
A lot of people go into these fights now and expect it to be a routine victory for Slim, but we know that it's not only the physicality that Tom Zanetti brings, but the sort of mentality, and he's a dog, he's ready for this.
Dog, and he's a fighter, and he's got a fighting mentality. There is no quitting him. So it's going to be a very interesting fight. I'm very excited about that one.
Anthony Taylor and Idris Virgo, one for boxing purists as well.
Anthony Taylor is going to bring the fight. Idris is a seasoned boxer. The brawler against the boxer, it's going to be very interesting. You know, a lot of these are 50-50 fights, 60-40 fights. I'd say Idris is slightly favourite, but Anthony Taylor he's determined. He's very determined. He's on a nice win streak, and I think it's going to be a challenging fight for both of them.
Just moving forward now, we've seen that the 5-year deal has been announced. I messaged yourself and Kala last night. I asked you a couple of months ago, are your plans to extend with DAZN? You have. You've got a 5-year deal, a broadcasting giant. They're willing to put their money into Misfits, put their money where their mouth is. You must be absolutely delighted to have the security for the future.
Absolutely. I think it's a mutually beneficial, gigantic victory of a partnership for all of us. And I think we all bring something really mega to the table. And what I love is that I genuinely like all my partners a lot. You know, DAZN, Joe Makowski, great guy. I can pick up the phone to him. He can pick up the phone to me and say, hey, I don't like this, or can we change that? And we listen to each other. There's a lot of respect. Kala, KSI, same thing. The relationships are there. So there's nothing more fun than creating a dream built on your passion. And we're all passionate about what we're doing, so yeah, super excited, man.
I believe that this is the start of what could be a really big future. You spoke before about the UFC model. This 5-year deal allows you to start getting down and working on it.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a lot of fun, a lot of evolution in our plans. which we're going to help along. And yeah, it's just super exciting to create this little universe of our own that's going to expand.
I don't want to keep you for too long because you'll be doing so many of them. It's not like we've got the time that we have when we're on Zoom. But just on the KSI and Jake Paul front, been speaking to a few people today, trying to get their points of view. Do you feel that Jake's team and MVP are slightly rushing KSI? Obviously, only 2 fights back since his layoff. Jake Paul's had the experience training for 3 years. You've said December. Do you feel even that could be a little bit early, perhaps? I know that you guys are willing to get it on this year, but do you think all the talk online as to why it's not happening right now is them trying to cherry pick the right time?
This is why it's not happening right now. Whatever KSI feels is one thing, and obviously we all support him. He needs some ring time. I want him to catch up on the ring time. But if they fought tomorrow, I'm still confident in KSI. I'm very confident. But I think he wants to go in there and not even make it a contest. And by December, that's what's going to happen. I believe with all my heart he's going to flatline Jake, and that's what's going to happen. In terms of the negotiations and everything else that's coming together, look, I can't control what Jake and KSI say to each other, nor would I want to. Nakisa and I we've established a respectful relationship where we're going to do whatever it takes to make this fight happen. And if we're contentious with one another, that's going to make it more challenging. So we've got to take our egos out of this completely and say, let's make this happen. Once and for all, let's bloody make this thing happen and give the fans what they all want.
Just finally from me, obviously with this 5-year deal, you're aiming at least 6 shows a year, but I imagine you yourself, you're going to want more. I imagine with Matchroom, the DAZN and Golden Boy out in the States, the DAZN broadcasting schedule is going to be absolutely massive.
Yeah, oh, we got so many fun things in the pipeline, so can't wait for the surprises to unfold.
Well, Mams, as always, thank you for your time. Look forward to seeing how the week turns out. Thank you, brother.